Great power competition is back, and so are surface navies. As any student of history will tell you, nationalist rivalries drive naval construction, going back to the days of the Greeks and the Persians. After a quarter-century hiatus, shipyards are again building large destroyers and even cruiser-sized vessels. All of the world's most powerful surface combatants operate in the latest rivalry between major powers, this time in the Asia-Pacific region. The 5 most powerful surface ships on the planet are means to an end, board game pieces in the struggle between the dominant military powers of post-war Asia, the United States, Japan, and authoritarian states, Russia, China, challenging the status quo. Here are the 5 deadliest Navy ships on planet Earth above water. Kongo-class guided missile destroyer. Japan's maritime self-defense force often takes cues from what it might consider the senior service, the U.S. Navy. The Japan Maritime Force, faced with the mission of protecting the country from North Korean short and medium-range missiles, commissioned 4 Kongo-class guided missile destroyers. The ships are virtual copies of the American Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyers. Kongo and her 3 sisters, Kirishima, Miyoko, and Chokai, are each 528 feet long and displace 9,400 tons fully loaded. Each was built with 90 of the same vertical launch silos on the Ticonderoga class and can load many of the same weapons. The Kongo class, although generally American, sports subtle differences, including an Otto Melara 5-inch gun, LM 2500 gas turbines manufactured under license by IHI Japan, and locally sourced sensors and electronics. The Kongo-class destroyers are meant to be guardians of Japan, equipped with the SM-3 missile interceptor. Just 2 of the destroyers can protect most of the country from ballistic missile attack. 2 Kongos are typically at sea to fulfill this role at any particular time. Type 055 class guided missile destroyer. The latest large surface ship to enter production, the Type 055 class guided missile destroyers, are the latest to join the People's Liberation Army Navy. A follow-on to the Type 052 class, the ships are larger and more capable than any other ship in the People's Liberation Army Navy, and likely stiff competition for the Ticonderoga class cruisers. The Type 055 class are 590 feet long, making them longer than the Ticonderogas, and are estimated to weigh approximately upwards of 10,000 tons. Like their American counterparts, the 055 destroyers are likely meant as bodyguards for China's fledgling aircraft carrier fleet, with the ability to take on anti-submarine and anti-surface warfare roles as necessary. One feature that pins the Type 055S to this list, a total 112 vertical launch silos, each of which could carry YJ-18A and YJ-100 anti-ship cruise missiles, landing attack cruise missiles, or HQ-9B long-range air defense missiles. The ships also embark HQ-10 short-range surface-to-air missiles, similar to the NATO Rolling Airframe Missile, RAM, and HPJ-11 close-in weapon system, similar to the American Phalanx. Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer. Named after the famous destroyer commander, the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers are the most numerous large surface combatants. In many ways, the Burke-class was a successful shrinking down of the Ticonderoga-class's sensors and armament, minus a 5-inch gun and 26 vertical launch silos, into a smaller platform. The first ship in class, Arleigh Burke, was laid down in 1988 and entered service in 1991. The class has been in almost continuous construction since, with a brief pause in the 2010s. The ships are 505 feet long and displace up to 7,900 tons, with older ships weighing more. 4 LM 2500 gas turbines drive the ships to speeds in excess of 30 knots. The Burkes are each equipped with a single 5-inch dual-purpose gun, 96 vertical launch silos, the Spy-1 radar and Aegis combat system, and Harpoon anti-ship missiles. Beginning in the late 1990s, a helicopter basing capability was added with a 2-helicopter hangar. A third major revision to the platform, Flight 3, will replace the Spy-1 radar with the new Spy-6 air and missile defense radar. Like some ships in the Ticonderoga class, several Burkes are capable of the ballistic missile defense mission, engaging ballistic missiles with a combination of Aegis and the SM-3 interceptor. There are 62 Burke destroyers, with 14 more under construction or contracted, representing by far the largest class of large surface combatants. Kirov-class missile cruiser. The largest surface combatants built by any power in the years after World War II, the Kirov-class ships are often referred to as battle cruisers because of their sheer size and firepower. The 4 Kirovs are each 823 feet long, 80% of the length of a U.S. Navy supercarrier, with a beam of 93 feet. The ships displace 24,300 tons and can make speeds of up to 32 knots due to the presence of a combined nuclear and steam propulsion system that generates 600 megawatts of power. Of the 4 original ships, only 2, Peter Veliky and Admiral Nakhimov, are still in service. These ships were originally armed with 20 P-700 Granite ramjet anti-ship missiles, each of which could carry a 1,500-pound high-explosive or nuclear warhead. Fast and powerful, the Kirovs were positioned to hunt down and destroy American aircraft carriers carrying nuclear weapons that could threaten Moscow's missile submarines and the Soviet homeland. Peter Veliky currently serves with the Russian Northern Fleet, while Admiral Nakhimov is receiving an extensive overhaul that will reportedly include new Zircon hypersonic missiles and the S-500 surface-to-air missile system. Admiral Nakhimov is expected to be ready for service in 2021 to 2022 and will reportedly join the Pacific Fleet. Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser. The Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruisers were the first American ships equipped with the Spy-1 radar, SM-2 air defense missiles, and the Aegis combat system. Although considered multi-purpose ships capable of engaging in anti-submarine and anti-surface warfare, the main mission of the cruisers was to defend U.S. Navy carriers and other large, high-value assets from mass aerial attack. The Ticonderoga-class ships have some of the largest missile magazines in the world, with a total of 122 vertical launch silos capable of carrying SM-2 and SM-6 air defense missiles, SM-3 ballistic missile interceptors, evolved Sea Sparrow short-range air defense missiles, Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles, or ASROC anti-submarine rockets. The ships are also capable of carrying the Navy's new long-range anti-ship missile, new anti-ship versions of Tomahawk, and the Harpoon anti-ship missile. The 22 Ticonderoga-class cruisers still in service, 5 older ships were retired at the end of the Cold War, are 564 feet long and weigh up to 10,000 tons fully loaded. Each can do more than 30 knots thanks to 4 General Electric LM2500 gas turbine engines. The Ticos are the last ships in the Navy to mount multiple guns, with one Mark 45 dual-purpose 5-inch gun in the front and the rear. 2 features make the Ticonderoga class especially potent: the ability of certain ships within the class to accomplish the ballistic missile defense mission using Aegis and SM-3 interceptors, and the ability to use F-35 fighters and E-2D Hawkeye airborne early warning and control aircraft as an extension of the ship's sensors, a system known as Naval Integrated Fire Control Counter-Air.